Hello and welcome to Old Ways Gardening and Prepping. My name is Teresa. I'd like to welcome you out to my wild backyard on this beautiful, partly cloudy, cool morning. It's just absolutely beautiful. I'm busy harvesting because I'm getting ready to head over to the shed of many names. And well, now it's time to harvest stinging nettles. Yes, I have this small patch. I need to check my other patch over there. And I'm fixing to bring y'all along for some stinging nettle harvest. Absolutely wonderful medicinal plant. So good for so many things. Makes the best pesto there is. Also good for teas, adding to soups, you name it. And it's an extremely medicinal herb as well. I'm probably going to be drying some of it and also making some pesto with it. And I'll bring you along for all of that. So let's get busy over here harvesting. Okay, now the harvest stinging nettle is called stinging nettle for a reason. You need gloves and clippers. I cut them back so I can get several harvest out of them harvesters. But if you can see the stinging hairs on them, they're called stinging nettle for a reason. And don't worry, they're going to come right back up. I absolutely love stinging nettle. They are so delicious and healthy for you. I wish the neighbors could act like they had some. Okay, now some of these are trying to go to seed. You know what? I'm going to harvest them anyway because I use them. I want to cut them back to where there's still some leaves so that they will come back. I'm behind on getting to harvest them. These I plan on digging up and putting them in their own raised bed here soon. And I have a bucket of water here to put them in. Might as well go on and take any bad leaves off. And I eat the leaves and the stems as well. Waste not, want not. Excuse me, Peter. And that's it for this patch. And I'll bring you back here in a little bit. Okay, welcome to the shed of many names where we're going to do a little bit of dehydrating. I have some of my singing nettle here. I washed them real good. Some of them have started to dry on their own naturally. That's fine. I'm still going to put them in the dehydrator with every one of them because I want to make sure that they are completely dry. Now, one good thing about stinging nettles, when you introduce them to a little bit of heat, the sting goes away. But the medicinal benefits of the leaves and the stems still stay in the plant. Now, before I get started, make sure that your workspace, your countertop, wherever you're working at, is sanitized and clean and sanitized, and you have your dehydrator trays ready. And I use a I don't use it for bigger leaves like the lyre leaf sage, but I'm gonna be cutting these up in a little bit smaller pieces. Use a canning lid to protect the center hole if you have one of the round dehydrators, and that'll keep it from falling through. Just remember, as you fill a tray, take that lid off and put it on your next tray. Now, stinging nettle, even though it's cut and harvested, will still get you. Glove and preferably long sleeve shirt. So, let's get busy, y'all. I absolutely love stinging nettle, and I am so happy to have more. This is my first harvest of the year, and I'm happy as can be. I'm not cutting them in little bitty small pieces. I just want them in manageable pieces to go into the dehydrator. I will break them up in smaller pieces once they are dry. And yes, I use stems and leaves. You have to treat stinging nettle with great respect, because if you don't, she will get you. And she will have no mercy. I'm just not in the mood to get stung really good. And like I said, I washed these really good and possibly let them dry just a little longer than I wanted to. But you know what? They're still good, and they're still going to dehydrate just fine. And they're going to make a wonderful addition for another recipe to come. A different video. It's trying to get me. I usually don't use these gloves, and I know why. They get on the tray. And like I said, the ones that have wilted, nothing wrong with them. You can still use them. And the stems, I will just break them up into smaller pieces once they're dry. And no, this is not all the stinging nettle that I harvested. I have another video to come, making something I absolutely love. Uh-oh. Now if that hit the floor, it will get swept. They're obstinate tonight. And you'll see once they're dried, they're a whole lot easier to work with. And I won't have to use gloves. Alright, I'm going to try to find some. I'm going to fix this chaos that's going on this tray. And then I'm going to. I usually use leather gloves. Alright, I'm going to get this fixed. Once you get your tray filled and fixed, don't forget to remove your lid. You work pretty fast, they don't get you. You take your time and go real slow, they will get you. Alright, I'm going to fix this tray and I'm going to keep going. And once I get these cut all up, I will bring you back. You can also, instead of using a knife, you can also cut it up with scissors as well. Both ways are very good and quick. Alright, I'll see y'all back here in a little bit. Now that I've won the battle with loading up, cutting up and loading up the stinging nettles, I can now roll my sleeves up a little bit and take the glove off. I ended up with 4 really pretty trays full. Now, for those who have been asking me about what kind of dehydrator I have. Now, I have 2 regular Presto air forced dehydrators, but this beautiful baby is my favorite of them all. It is a Presto Dehydro electric dehydrator, where you can choose not only the heat setting but how many hours it runs, which is amazing, and it makes a big difference in what you dehydrate. Now I have it plugged in. I'm going to push. Now, let's see. There we go. I'm going to make sure that it's actually fully plugged in. It automatically comes on. And I'm going to set this for 9 hours. I don't think it'll need the whole 9 hours. But if it does, so be it. Everything will get dry. And if it needs more, then I will add more hours to it. I click a button, I go to the temp. Herbs are usually about 95 or 100. I'm going to put it at 100. And as soon as I cut this video for the night, then I'm going to start it. It's not too bad loud. I might as well go on and start it. See, it's not too bad loud. And I will bring you back as soon as the stinging nettles are dehydrated. And of course, I have 3 trays also of lyre leaf sage as well. So it's going to be 2 different videos. Alright, y'all, I will see you back in the shed of many names in the morning. Y'all take care. Good morning, everyone. Well, they are finally dry. I let them go for another 2.5 hours, so that was, I see, it was easy. I think it was 9.5 hours is what it took for the stinging nettles to dry. So we're gonna take our lid off. Make sure you have a big container. And that's what you want to hear. You want to hear crunch. Look how beautiful they dry. They still look like they're alive. And since they've been dehydrated, you don't have to worry about the sting, because the sting will be gone. They're only mean when they are fresh or still green. Okay. Put the lid back on. And of course, I have let them acclimate, or also known as cool down, so I can work with them. and to make sure that they're absolutely dry. And that's the one thing you have to do. You have to make sure when you're dehydrating that your plant material or whatever you're doing is completely dry. Let me move the camera down a bit. And I want to break them up as much as possible. You'll have escapees. You don't want to waste anything. Well, I'm going to keep breaking these down and I'll bring you right back. Alright, I got them broke down some more. I have my jar and funnel. See, this is why I say make sure that your work area is clean and sanitized. That way you can just scoop it up and put it into the jar. Because you don't want to waste any of it. Especially not stinging nettles. Look how beautiful those are. And still full of plenty of life. I'm just going to wait to scoop out up what hit the countertop once I get it full. And like I say, once they're dehydrated or cooked, the sting is gone. Now you might get poked by a stem, so don't worry about that. And I'm not talking about stung. And you want to get all that powder out. Don't waste any of that wonderful, precious, stinging nettle. You want to make sure that it all gets in the jar. And sometimes it can be obstinate, but it's still going in the jar. Alrighty. Got almost a half a gallon of beautiful stinging nettles. And if you wanted to, you can go on and pressure seal, vacuum seal the jar, or you can put it on into Mylar bags or storage bags. It is up to your, whichever way you want to do it. Stinging nettles. God, 523. See how simple that was? All you have to do is harvest them, cut them up, and dehydrate them. Things are simple. Too many people want to make things hard and difficult. It's easier than you think it is. It really is. You just gotta be careful when you're harvesting that you don't get stung, and if you do, it's not that bad. A lot of people go on about a little bit or nothing. But now, of course, as stinging nettles get bigger and older, that's a different story. But these were young, and they can still get you, but it's not that bad. Simple, easy, organically grown stinging nettles. These can be used for tea, can also be used to put into soups, into bone broth, you name it. You can put these in a lot of things. And when they're fresh, you can make pesto and other things with them. Delicious. Now, I wouldn't toss them fresh into salads because, yeah, you're going to get stung while you ate. You really don't want to do that. But I hope this video encourages you to not only grow your own stinging nettles or harvest them responsibly in the wild. Don't clear them all out. But if you harvest them right, you can get, depending on your growing area, 3 to 4 harvests a year. And this is an amazing plant to not only have put back for tea, herbal teas, but also to add into soups for when the winter comes and you'll stay healthy. Everyone, take care. Y'all stay safe and sound out there. We got this together. Stay positive. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Continue to stock your pantries with foods that will sustain you. Continue to stock your medicine cabinets with things that will keep you well. Stock up your protection and other necessities. Make sure they're necessities. Go through like soap and stuff like that. That's necessities. Not stuff that's not going to do you a bit of good when the grid goes down. Everyone, take care and may you each be blessed. Hoot hoot.